blends me all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls and an instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We're giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing is Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Now that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
56 the mic. 56 is the mic.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Taken in at the 11. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing is Jackson. And he connects with Ertz. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 38-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 22 carries, 105 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On second down, Jacobs. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defense...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like...
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And the defense has got it. A nightmare start offensively. This will be a touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's how we do it.
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too. And he's going to go down again.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you? End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquise Goodwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Gonzalez now to have the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 21-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Looking deep for his... And this is caught inside the 5. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the...
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it's going to be tipped up and picked off.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Well, indeed, try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Jacobs. And some room to work. Oh, he knocks him over. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On second down, it's Jacobs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. They'll run on first down. Jacobs. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 36, Jackson escaping the pressure right. Campbell making the catch. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a gain of 34.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
Here's a run with Balaj. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Josh Jacobs, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Mike. 319. I'm here all day.
Double tight.
Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Throwing on third and long. Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They'll look to set up his blockers. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Jacobs. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
He can run for it, and he will.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Jackson on first down. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth, when the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. The throw over the middle taken in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Samson Abuka. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on down. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Rams on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Rodgers going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
It's taken to the 26. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Jackson. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 15 now. Rodgers nowhere there to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say...
And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
36 to Mike. I got him. Joker.
On first down, it's Jacobs. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 30.